Yo, in March, our business did 20,000 euros in revenue, and I want to share with you how we did that. Because you hear a lot of people, they'll break down, oh, we did 100,000, million per year, whatever, but you don't hear often like the steps. So I wanted to share with that, just really for my entrepreneurial friends, and also as like a reflection for me. I wrote down a few things, like I want to share 3 things we did right and 3 things we did wrong, like lessons that I want to share with you so you don't do them yourself. Okay, hope that's okay. And just so you know, my name is Oskar, live in Bali, beautiful place we're renting. Not to impress, really just to show you that's very doable actually, and hopefully you can use these lessons so you can do the same. If you want to be a digital nomad or online entrepreneur, yeah, it's actually pretty doable. Took a few years to get here though, so consistency is also key. Last year in total, we did 140,000 euros in revenue, but didn't have much profit on that. We invest a lot, like training, on hiring, on events, just to learn more. And that shifted a little bit this year because we're like, okay, we don't have actually much of a buffer, and so now we tightened our margins a little bit so that we actually have more, and subsequently we also became a bit more profitable, but we also increased our revenue in total. So in March we hit 20K, new record, super awesome. More importantly, helping more students. Our business is in the Chinese language space, help people to learn to speak Chinese fluently, because in a lot of language schools or like it's traditional institutions or even apps, you don't really get to practice, you don't even get to like a conversational level. So what we do is more intensive 4 to 8 month programs where you can actually reach conversational fluency, because we use science-based learning, but that's enough about the business. So first I'll share 3 things that worked well, and then the 3 things that we shouldn't have done, and want to share that with you so you don't make the same mistakes. First thing that went well was actually investing back into our business a lot. Actually, it's like a double-edged sword, because we invested most of what we earned. We got business coaching, that was about 12,000. What really helped us to like increase our revenue month by month, because they kept making tweaks, and having someone outside like who's done it helps you to really to make sure you know how to scale. I don't have anything to sell you, by the way. Like, I'm not here to sell, I just want to share my reflections. I'm not coaching anyone. We got business coaching about 12K, got sales training to help me improve my sales skills. That was awesome. Shout out to Jeremy Miner, fantastic sales trainer. I think about 20,000 there. That one was pretty expensive, but well, made it back in a month. Cat says hi. And then we went to a few events, like a lot of Tony Robbins event, Funnel Hacking Live. Those were good, but the ROI isn't so clear there. So first part, investing in getting education and training from people who have done it and have done what you want to do so that you can get where you want to go. Very important, especially if it's scary. Second thing that went well was hiring people that have similar values and the skills you want. For example, hiring my teammates in the sales team, Brian. He's fantastic, very driven, similar values. We both enjoy personal development and growing. And so we're always on the same page in terms of how we work, how we communicate, and there's actually not many issues between us. So hiring with the same values is very important. Third piece that got to 20K per month that I realized and worked well was valuing my time. Especially last year, we went through some very tough months, end of last year. We had done 18,000 like in last February. They went down to 5, then up to 10, then going back down to 3K in revenue. When the whole team's expenses is 10K, can be a bit stressful because you're like, where's the money gonna come from? But what I did differently this year, January, February, March, which led to March having a really good month, was valuing the time. And this was also from the sales training, Jeremy Miner. He had said that as soon as you realize that maybe a person isn't like an ideal fit, or doesn't have the money, doesn't have a way to find the money, or isn't interested enough to a degree that you can't persuade them, get them off the call. Don't pay attention to them, especially in sales. Like, this is especially for the sales part. Getting to that 20K. Valuing your time is super important because it's limited. You either want to be able to delegate or optimize. That's why I'm figuring out how to optimize right now. And I'm disqualifying a lot of prospects who wouldn't work with us, wouldn't be interested enough. Because you do need some kind of commitment to actually be able to reach fluency in any language, especially Chinese. So valuing your time, know what are the most important actions that you need to do, then try to remove everything else. Not the easiest, of course. 3 mistakes that we made that I want to share with you that I learned from, and I think these are pretty cool, so make sure to stick until the end. The first thing was basically like not hiring the right people, because we did hire some coaches, super good at what they do, but they also had their own business on the side, which meant that this was kind of like a half in, half out kind of situation. And so what happened, maybe you're hiring for a full-time role, but the person's like, I can't do really full-time, I can do 80%. Then they're gonna give you 80% effort, that's the thing. And we thought that 80% effort was good enough, but sometimes that 80% can become 50%, and then with your own expectations, it messes you up, because you're like, oh, but I was expecting 80%, but why are they only giving me 50? Because their other side thing needed that 30%. You know what I'm saying? So really make sure your expectations are clear hiring people. And if you want someone who's fully committed, make sure that's the key. So that's what we learned. Second mistake, switching marketing and sales strategy too early instead of actually doubling down on what was working. Because we had been doing basically DM appointment setting. So creating organic content, which gets people to start conversations with us. We qualify the person, get on a call, see if they want to join the program, and then boom, that's how it works. That was a sales funnel. And our program's usually varies between 3,000 to 6,000 US dollars. So that's what people would buy to be able to reach full fluency in Chinese, which is pretty cool. Yeah, we were doing that January until June, getting better and better, kind of like a little bit of fluctuations, but then I saw a few ads from this guy who runs ads for coaches online. And I was like, perfect, that looks awesome. I really liked his ads as well. And so I was like, got on a call with him, signed up for his service, and he started running ads for us. It got a bit messy, and we were also doing like influencer marketing at the same time, like getting influencers to DM us, even though our own organic content was working. And so here's where it went wrong. Basically, this comes back to the time thing. I was taking calls with people who were not super qualified in terms of the ads. We wasted about 1K trying a strategy that he didn't know first. He wanted to try something, but it wasn't optimized. Basically, there was a difference between doing ads to message in the DMs in Instagram. He hadn't done that before, but since we were doing messaging, he thought that might be cool. That wasted a ton of time because we don't accept beginner students. We only work with intermediate level students, but most people are beginner. So I had to disqualify so many people and waste a lot of our time. Secondly, then we started to do VSLs. So add straight to sales call. And I didn't have any practice with sales calls like that because there's no trust in those sales calls. So I didn't sell anyone. And then his 3-month period was up and we had spent 5,000 in total with him, including his fees, and gotten like 1 student. We were like, not really what we were looking for, and he didn't give us his guarantee. So that was kind of a waste of time. Then we went back after some realizations, be like, wait, our organic content works and we're actually pretty decent at DMing. Let's double down on that. And so that's what we've been doing now. Back again, easily generating 5 to 10 students per month. Basically double down on what works for you. If you haven't found that, of course, keep testing. But if once you've found it, get to a place where it's consistent and you can automate it or like delegate it. That's my number 1 lesson there. Third mistake is related to emotional stress. So making sure that you actually have some kind of a financial cushion. Because as I mentioned, November, December 2023 were pretty intense. Our revenue was very low. I had to borrow some money. But aside from that, it was just very stressful. What you get into business for. Of course, you know that entrepreneurship and business is going to be tough. But since we've just been spending all our money, we didn't have any cushion. And I don't recommend that at all. I recommend saving up 3 months of business expenses. That's at least what we're aiming for now. Let's see if it works. We're doing it. Let's see if it's enough of an emotional support. Because, especially on the sales side, to be able to think clearly, and as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, you need to be able to make decisions clearly. But if your mind is like, shit, where's the next revenue going to come from? Then you can't make decisions clearly because that's all you're thinking about. So having this cushion, or at least being able to work on your emotions so you can be mindful, that's also key. Bonus tip, we had stopped, I don't know why, meditation like the last few months as well. And we were like, that tied in with the financial stress was pretty intense. So we restarted meditation at the beginning of this year, being pretty consistent with that now again. And it's, helps so much just to connect with humans, because business in the end is all about human connection and being able to create that. So managing what's in here, not just in here, is key. Overall, if you're not making any money, invest in yourself so you can figure out the strategy that works for you, even if the first one doesn't work. But don't let that bad experience burn you. Try again. Even if you need to take up on a bit of debt, ask your parents, take out a credit card. It's what all entrepreneurs do. Doesn't mean it's right, but of course, you do want to learn what you don't know. This is paying off your ignorance debt, as Alex Hormozi says. Then the second part, which I heard from Dan Henry, which I really like, if you're growing and actually being consistent, maybe don't hire someone. Don't get a coach, because you might invest in someone with a completely different strategy, and then it could actually fuck up your strategy and then throw off your business completely. So if you're not making money, invest in yourself. If you are making money and growing, then get some help. If you're stagnating, get some help. This is a new channel, so make sure to comment below. I want to hear what's your top takeaway. If you're not at 20K yet, let me know. What's your business? Just love to hear a little bit about who's watching, if anything, and otherwise, hope this was valuable. Now we gotta, of course, stay at 20K. Not gonna be the easiest, actually, especially April. I was sick for the last 2 weeks, so we might not stay at 20K. That'll be a new challenge. Gotta get back there and keep on climbing, little by little. That's what we want to do. So much love. Hope this was helpful for you, and otherwise, see you next time. Peace.